Alright, we're back. What's that button? I think I just took a bunch of pictures. But I use this app when I'm in areas that I'm not familiar with. It's called All Trails. It's really good. Really good. They got good maps. I don't, like I said, I'm not sponsored, as you can tell if you're just looking at this video. I'm definitely not sponsored with my 7 or 8 subscribers. We'll see. We're trying this. We'll see where it goes. I mean, I'm gonna try and put content out now that it's winter time, and the construction field that I work in down in Carolina, it's gonna start slowing down. Hopefully, I'll have more weekends to come out or to get out there and maybe do some kayaking. Definitely more hiking now that it's cooler out. Got one coming up in November. Little kayak camp trip. We're gonna try it out. 6 miles to the campsite by water. 6 miles back. So obviously, it's a little bit of some driving. I got some new gear that I'm testing out today. Bought this product. I looked at a bunch of videos. I watched a bunch of videos about, product gear review. We all do it. Get on the YouTube. See what other people are carrying. Check out what they feel about it. And I'm going to tell you, this little bag I found, I didn't realize that I had watched some reviews on it. So I guess the subliminal messages worked. And I ended up buying a bag. I get it home. It comes in the mail. We open it all up. We're like a kid in the candy store, or Christmas Day, or when it's wet like this, I suggest make sure you get some good waterproof boots with you. There's some kind of swampy back here. But anyways, the bag is really good for what you pay for it. I'm not disappointed. First quality. Like I said, this is my first little day hike I've taken with it. I've made some modifications to it. That's by choice. So buying the bag and knowing what it was when I bought it, I'm surprised. Anybody that's into like a haversack deal, because it's basically what I bought it as. It's a haversack. Just kind of following this trail. It's kind of weird. A lot of these old foot trails up here in Connecticut that I have noticed, most of them were all like logging trails or Jeep trails or what. It's just a way for them to come in and get through and pick up, get the logs and stuff. But this it's kind of neat so far. It's quiet. It is real quiet, but see, if you can see that. Try and zoom it in a little bit more for you. So down in there where that darker brown gets about 3 feet up, that's going to be a swamp. We're in the hardwoods, but that's going to be a swampy area. It's definitely going to be marshy. So yeah, like I said, I made a few modifications to it. I think the bag, because of color choice, bag was like 10 bucks. It's a retro bag. It's not it's an ammo bag. So when I say retro, it definitely doesn't look, it's not used, it's just a small little bag that I can carry a pretty decent amount of stuff in. Right now it wears really comfortable. No complaints. I got my, see, I got some couple of hatchets the other day, brand new S-Wing Sportsman hatchets. I found those on Facebook Marketplace. Guy was selling them for $15 a piece. Brand new. I literally pulled the labels off of them. So, I don't know how or why, but I mean, I know they're normally going for about $40. I've watched a couple of good reviews. I was looking for a good, durable hatchet to carry with me. A bunch of good reviews. Gideon's Tactical does a really good review of the S-Wing Sportsman's hatchet. I think he compares it with the Grand Force Bonks hatchet, and you'd be surprised. You should go check out his go check out Gideon's Tactical on his review on YouTube. You'd be really surprised. But it's also that all-American concept. You know, it's made in America and all that. I'm kind of leaning back that way. Well, the issue is I have a couple of Swiss Army knives and a more, they were a Firelight, they were a Moroccan knife, a Mora knife. Came with a ferro rod in the handle. It's a rat tang, not a full tang type deal. Whatever Mora does, you know. Not disappointed so far with that either. My problem is I'm really partial to buck knives. I have a good collection. I'm not one of those knife freaks. I get a good knife and I just kind of pretty much use that for forever. You know, my carry knife, how should we put it? My EDC is either a buck canoe, depends on if I'm in the office working, or, you know, just out in general public for work. But I carry a buck 110 on my hip. I just made a new leather sheath for it. So I'm still breaking that in. And see, the only thing about these Connecticut trails that I have noticed, they're going to say this is 2.5 miles, 2.6. But I'm going to tell you, it's not. It's really not. You do a lot of crisscrossing. You walk back and forth, they'll layer it up down through. Getting down into that marshy area. The ground is super muddy, super soft. Gotta find a good spot there. Yeah, see that? Someone's been in here digging away. I'm telling you guys, there's not really, there's more animal tracks underneath these leaves than there are, there's hardly any foot traffic back here. I gotta be honest with you. This does not look well laid out at all. Boy, it'd be nice if I found another little babbling brook like I did right at the beginning back in here. Oh, little walkway. This is kind of nice. Yeah, this is definitely not anything like I've seen in Carolina so far. Too much green, too much, look at that dark, black, rich mud. Well, yeah, I lived in Connecticut for 21 and a half years before I moved down to South Carolina, 2014. I moved to Connecticut in 92. And I moved down in 2014. I'm originally from upstate New York, up in the Adirondacks. Well, just outside the Adirondacks in St. Lawrence County, New York. And that part was kind of in a valley where I lived. But that was a 20-minute drive, and I was over in Ontario, Canada, from my house. Back before 9/11, when all you needed to do was just tell them where you were going and what you were doing. And okay, have a nice day. And then come back. It's not like that anymore, but I mean, the border crossing used to be just this little booth, covered booth area. You know, I had like 2 or 3 booths in it. One major building and then like a big maintenance building area. Now, damn thing looks like Fort Knox, which I'm fine with that. I mean, we need to secure our borders. We need to tighten it up. We do need immigration reform on a lot of different levels. We do need something like the wall because we can't put the manpower in place to... There are all kinds of little side trails right up in here. Sorry about that, but we do need to do this stuff. What we don't need to do is we don't need to make it so expensive for an immigrant coming to our country to become at least a resident alien. Because as you know, there's different levels of green cards and visas and all that stuff for immigrants. I mean, shit, our country was founded on immigration. Like I said, we need some type of immigration reform. We need to do something. We need to put up a wall. I think we need to put up a wall across Canada too. I know where I lived, smuggling cigarettes into Canada was a big deal. That's when Canadian cigarettes cost as much as they do in the States now. But you know, when I left there in 92, they were smuggling Chinese people from Canada into the U.S. So if you don't think that we're having border issues just in Mexico, we're having it in Canada too. I don't know, it's just easier to control in Canada because it's so cold along the Canadian border. You know, people probably freeze to death and die because most of the areas are very wooded, and it's hard. It's hard to survive up there if you don't know what you're doing. That's one of the things that I like about who I am and where I came from. I grew up in the woods. So moved down to another state, and you just have a lot more. You have some different challenges than what you were used to. You know, you got to learn. But learning and being diversified and all that stuff. And look, I'm no bushcrafter. I'm no, I'm gonna use a lighter to light a fire if I can. I'm gonna use matches. I'm working on my bushcraft skills to enhance them and get better. Which is, that's, if you're into the outdoors and you're into bushcraft or you're into hunting or you're practice makes perfect, right? How many times did you hear that growing up? You're only as good as your knowledge and ability, but the only way to have ability and knowledge is to get out there and learn and be out here in the woods, doing what we like, what you like. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, obviously, and I feel that somewhere there is a lot of squirrels, chipmunks. I don't know if you can see them or not. So now I got one going this way, one going this way. Oh, there's the blue marker way up here. This would have been a good spot for them to put their blue marker a little bit closer. See, once again, as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm walking towards the back of the house. Let me see if I can get you up there. It's like right in that area. See that gap? That's the back of the house right there, right above my fingernail. And chipmunks. 5 chipmunks back here. They're just little squirrels. Haven't heard anything big. Walking through here yet. Which I don't know. You're seeing how populated it is. I'm not saying there wouldn't be deer, but I'm surprised I haven't seen more. Or I'm just being too loud. That could be the issue. Talking and doing all this. So not a bad little trail. You really can't get lost out here. We'll go this way some more. Oh, I'm definitely going to walk this whole trail. Now, let me find a place to park and make a cup of coffee, and I'll be right back with you.